Zay, what you cooking, bruh?
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Ins and Out podcast. Yes, I do have a weird screen. I'm probably gonna have to fix this bit show, but we're back again with another, and I mean another episode of the podcast. It is officially the Washington Commanders bye week as we speak. So, Caleb, we don't get football.
Thank God.
We do not get Commanders football this upcoming Sunday, but we can recap the Miami game and we can talk about some of the things we have seen so far through the first couple weeks of this season. Go ahead and fix this right here. I think this is gonna be better for the night. I think it's good for the night. But yeah. So how you doing, man?
Same old, man. I mean, government opened back up, so you already know how that is for me.
Yeah, I got you. Everything is well though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, let's go ahead and talk about the game that we saw. At 9:30, it was our international game, the last of the international game series by the NFL. We took on the Miami Dolphins, and we lost by the final score of 16-13. What is that? What's the score? 16-13? Was it like 19?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
1916.
1916. Okay, I was close enough. But 19-16 went into overtime, and immediately the first thing you would probably say is, despite what we assumed what was going to happen, we had an opportunity to win this game. We had plenty of opportunities to win this game. And it was fueled by a Dan Quinn led and defensive play called defense of unit. Like, we literally see a night and day difference. Well, it's still some problems, obviously, because overall talent and things like that. But the simple fact that they held the Miami Dolphins, even though they didn't have a Tyreek Hill, they had Devin Achane, they had Jalen Waddle, had Tua, had plenty of guys that can make plays on our secondary or on our defense overall. We held them to under 20 points, and we still lost. So, Caleb, first thing I want to talk to you about was, what was your overall thoughts in terms of watching the defense under Dan Quinn for the first time we seen him call the defense, and your overall thoughts on, just how the season has been. Like you watch that game, you see how the season has been for us so far. It's been a lot of downs, but some slight ups. I mean, we're 3-8. There's not a lot you can really take out of it, especially when you look at the record. You are what your record says you are. But go ahead and talk about those couple things right there.
I mean, I start with the game. I will say, I mean, the defense looked competent. They looked much more competent than what we've seen it the last few weeks. They still had some issues regardless, but they looked better. It's the best that we've seen them. Is that the best defensive performance they had since Dan Quinn has gotten here? That one specific game?
I think we're obviously going to say yes, but
you got to add context too. Like,
yeah,
quarterback we played, the weapon.
I mean, honestly, I thought they were going to put like at least 24 to 27 points on us.
Yeah,
that was my initial thought. The simple fact that we played them and you can clearly see some of the differences that Dan Quinn did.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I saw a lot less man. I saw way more zone coverages, and
A lot of
even
shell
though
coverage. A lot of shell coverage.
and even though we were getting killed if we were playing zone or man or match and stuff like that, I felt like from this perspective that I've seen, they were. It was just much cleaner. They just were getting beat because of the overall skill. Like you get
Mm-hmm.
like, and I seen a couple corner blitzes. I seen energy out there that I haven't seen since probably like week one or maybe when we played the Chargers. I haven't seen that type of energy from the defense. Well, no, these games, first half. These games first half. That was probably the best defensive performance we see in one half.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah, I agree. They look better, man. But a couple of players had some good moments too. I mean, Devon Kellogg looked pretty solid. Jordan McGee, he showed his sideline to sideline speed in that game. Tackling Devon 18 in open spaces. That's that's not hard. I mean,
yo,
well, not. I'm not gonna say it's not hard, but it's not easy to do. The fact that I don't think people understand, like, just from a pure skill set, like Devon Achane is one of the fastest running backs in the NFL, if not the fastest. That kid is fast, and the fact that McGee has the athleticism to get to that spot and not over pursue and tackle in open space, this kid needs to play more. Like,
yeah,
from this point on, he needs to play every single defensive snap, regardless if he has good moments, bad moments. Like, he has to play
I agree.
each snap. The other thing you asked me, what was the
I
other?
asked you the overall thoughts of the season as we
Oh, I
finally hit
mean,
the bye week.
season is terrible. It's still a change anything. I mean, they're just not. I mean, I will say there are some good spots to the team, like the offensive line. I still feel like is one of the strengths of the team. Um, Certain players, you can give them some individual accomplishments or some individual praise. Like Ken Law has been really good for us, especially against the run up the middle. He's been really good for us. I mean, Debo gives us some juice too. He still got some explosiveness left in him. Um, and one of the plays against Miami, I love that play. What Cliff ran. It was kind of like a fake screen, bubble screen type of play, where they put Debo in motion. There was a screen. There was a receiver waiting on that side. Threw it to Debo, and then you got blockers in front of him. Like, it's a good play, Cliff. Great play call. I mean, defensively, this is the best performance, like I said, all year. I mean, Joe Wick got to go, and um, they got to fill a need in both coordinator spots, I think, in my opinion. Defensive coordinator, for sure. You got to get somebody from the college ranks or get somebody from the Vic Fangio tree or get somebody from the Denver defensive coaching staff, get somebody from the Texans defensive coaching staff. You got to get a coach that came from a good defense and give him the players that he needs, and we got to implement a scheme. Uh, Excuse me. Offensive coordinator, I feel like needs. Um, Sorry, I just saw a text message. Offensive coordinator needs to be addressed to, despite what they do. If it's a in-house hire, or go give me Mike McDaniel.
So let me ask you this though. Through this about maybe like 20, almost what? It's how many games in the season? Like 17?
Hmm.
And we just did we're about like at least 20 plus games with Cliff. Do you are you saying that because of you know he's more than likely is going to get a coaching opportunity, whether it's a college ranks or an NFL job, or you're thinking more in terms of you kind of want to see a different philosophy to not only develop Jaden more, but also have a scheme where it can be successful for all the players that we currently have.
I mean, I think two things can be true. I think I do think he's going to have a lot of options available to him, not just the NFL, but in college. I also feel like Cliff has evolved from Arizona to here. He's done things that he doesn't normally do. He has. He's run more 13 personnel, more 21 personnel than he did here than in Arizona. Arizona, we know he did a lot of spread, a lot of empty. He'll run a lot of shotgun. Here, he's implemented the tight ends blocking more. His run schemes is pretty solid, and then you have Anthony Lynn helping him out with that as well because he's running back coach. He used to be an offense coordinator too, so
Yeah.
you put those minds together, and you know, you get something good, and we have gotten something good with that. I mean, I know people talk about having Jaden under center a lot, and it would be I feel like it would be a good thing to have. You know, just you can run out of that. You can do bootlegs. You can do a lot of stuff with that.
Mm-hmm.
Play action, give him a crosser, a post, a slant, and a check down to the tight end. I mean, I feel like Jaden can do that. Also, it helps him with half field reads too as well, and putting him on the move. Jaden's at his strength when he's using his legs, and his scramble rate this year is still pretty high, regardless if people are getting open or not. Jaden can scramble. He's most likely, arguably, the best pure scrambling quarterback in the NFL. That's how good our quarterback is at that. Um, but having him under center with a good running back, a good run game, it can protect him a little bit. Just get the ball to the back. I mean, out of shotgun stuff is still good, but implementing stuff that Todd Monken does, implementing stuff a little bit of what Sean McVay does, implementing stuff of what even Matt LaFleur does sometimes, or implementing stuff like Kevin O'Connell. Um, Offenses like that, they can do shotguns under single back wing T. You could do shotgun wing T as well. I mean, we're still run the pistol, still run, Wildcat, the creative stuff, yes, but adding stuff like even what Ben Johnson likes to run, adding stuff like that, I feel like Jaden can add to his repertoire. So it's all about if you're going to keep Cliff, will he do that? Or if you're going to get another guy, they're going to maybe put Jaden into the system and say, hey, this is what is going to have you survive in the NFL because you are the most hit quarterback since you came into the league. And
Yeah.
that has to be addressed. So, I mean, adding stuff like that can be very important, I think, to an offense, or especially for Jaden, for us specifically.
Got you. So I agree with you. I think that's where I am as well. Like, I will say it's a little bit more about, I think the job opportunities will be in his favor, specifically the NFL. I think the only thing that will probably Cliff wouldn't go back to college will be because when he left college, it was still the old way of how college football was being run, and things like that. And then I'm not sure if he's willing to go sit there with athletic program and with the NIL, the transfer portal. I'm not sure if he's into doing the recruiting and stuff like that, as Paz would say. But I also think about a little bit too. I love Cliff's offense, especially when it's healthy. But I do think someone on staff like a Brian Johnson or Patricia or a David Blau, they would probably lean to a little bit different aspects that what they would do with the offense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they might run slightly a little bit more under center, or, some pro style concepts to help out with the offense. I do think I do love the offensive line in terms of the youth and what we can lock in, especially if we get a Tunsil deal done in the offseason. Get Cosby fully healthy after his surgery. He's playing. He's not playing through injury, but he's playing to get himself back into football shape. You have the offensive line, you have the quarterback. I mean, those are two key things you can definitely be happy about if you're the Commanders organization. Now it's like we've been saying, it's time to add playmakers around Jaden, and so he can make these moves to win in the NFC, and that's especially on defense. Adding more talent to that defense, but adding skill position players as well for Jaden to grow with. And of course, obviously, I think defensive coordinator DQ is going to have to hire a high-profile guy. He's going to have to hire a high-profile guy that can run the defense, and there's no question about like if the play calling and things like that. You need someone that's strong that can be on that side, because I mean, from what I've seen, it looks like Quinn doesn't want to call the plays on the defense. I've seen a lot of people argue and stuff about it, but some coaches don't want to call plays, and DQ has called plays before. Obviously, he didn't get a head coach position just being a coach. He was a defensive minded coach, but you want to run the team. So if you want to run the team, you need to hire somebody that is going to run that side of the football, that has the same vision as you have on that defense. I don't want to hear that, they drafted a player or they signed a player and he just doesn't fit what they want to do. There's a battling of philosophy. I don't want to hear that. Like, you have to find someone that's going to run the defense that can help this team. And you also need to give him some assets for that defense. Linebacker, edge rusher, another corner, safety. Safety is definitely a question on this team. So it's a lot of holes. Obviously, we can say on the defensive side based on what we have seen through the 2 years, but the offensive side, we know what has been hurt this year has been edge rushers and the wide receiver room. The wide receiver room is going to need a infusion of youth and some talent in that room for Jayden Daniels, also in the tight end room and also in the running back room. Like, Corey Krosky-Merritt is, as of right now, the only running back that is under contract. Chris Rodriguez, McNichols, Austin Eckler. I mean, he was lost for the season, but all those guys are expected to be free agents in this next free agent circle. They got to add some dudes, man. It's a big off season for
and they got to spend money. Yeah, they got to spend money. I mean, you have to spend money. Like we said in the last podcast, we need offense as much as we need defense, believe it or not. And I hope some of our fans understand that. I mean, I know everybody does a lot of mock drafts, so it's going to change every week, every month, really, as long as the offseason goes by. And whose stock is rising, whose stock is falling. But they need to add talent to this team. Some way, somehow, they need to add talent to this team. It can be done, but they do got work to do.
They definitely do. So now, obviously, we talked about the in terms of the coordinators. Um, here's another thing too, and this is what's gonna. I think people gotta understand. Like, do we sit here and keep up with the NFC East and stuff like that up here? Like, as a Washington fan and just an NFL fan, you supposed to keep up with a lot of teams,
Mm-hmm.
especially your division. And when you look at Philadelphia, when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, they have made some trades. Obviously, they trade Micah Parsons, and then they get a Kenny Clark, a Quentin Williams, and they get a first round pick next year as well to add to that defense. And I'm gonna wait until they play Philadelphia because they play the Raiders and we beat the brakes off the Raiders. So like just keeping it 100. But they still made investments into that side of the football, knowing that that was a weakness. And the New York Giants, as talented as on paper that defensive front is, if they can get the right coordinator that can utilize that talent, it's going to be a scary unit, especially when they add some cornerback help and some guys that can stay healthy in that back end. So why I say all this to say, look at Washington. Washington is literally 3 teams behind the A ball when it comes to the defense, and being very, I'll be very, stern and pessimistic at this. Like, honestly, I'm not expecting when you get an outside coordinator that the defense is going to pick up automatically, because it's going to be it will probably be a new system, or they merge the philosophy of DQ system, which whoever the defensive coordinator is going to be on the team. I just don't see them doing that inside promotion. I think they have to go outside.
Yeah, I think Dan Quinn has to look himself in the mirror and be like, I mean, he obviously needs help, but he has to tell it to himself. Like, I need to get somebody in here that knows what the heck they're doing. Um, Me personally, if I'm AP or Dan Quinn, if I'm infusing their brains together, or if I was there, if they were sitting at the table with me, I would tell them, look, y'all can hire a young defensive mind, take a chance on him, get some talent, and see where it goes. Um, just speaking, defensive wise,
Yeah.
you have to take that chance. Like I said earlier before, college coach, college coordinator, why not? Jesse Mentor with the Chargers, he's doing a solid job in helping that defense. That they're a competent group. Um, I know people wanted Al Harris here when Dan Quinn first came here. I mean, that's Dan's guy. I mean, who's he with?
He's with the Bears.
And
Now, I do think
that's their DB coach, right?
yeah,
He's I think they're leading the NFL in turnovers.
turnovers, they are. Absolutely are. But if I'm not mistaken, and I could definitely try to find it somewhere, I think when Dan Quinn tried to get Al Harris, he tried to get him for the defensive back job. And that was easy to block instead of letting him become the defensive coordinator. Now, I'm not sure what he would be as a defensive coordinator, but I mean, we can see from the resume, especially with the Dallas Cowboys, they led 3 out of 4 years in the NFL with turnovers, and that's what he has done so far with the Chicago Bears, as he has 3 players in the top 5 with 3 or more interceptions. and they also have some fumble recoveries and forced fumbles and stuff like that as well. And that's one of the marquee things we saw in Dallas with the Dan Quinn defense was the pass rush and the turnovers. Getting to the quarterback and getting the football back for your quarterback was a recipe of success for those Dan Quinn Dallas-led defenses. Now, of course, we know the struggles was, stopping the run, and especially in those big games, just like in the playoffs. But you've seen what that defense could do when they had guys, that fit what they wanted to do. And we still have to find guys that fit what we want to do. Also, we got to get guys that are healthy. I mean, I love Dorrance Armstrong, but the past 2 years have been injury-riddled seasons. He can rush the passer. And he was having a career year. He was off to a great start this year. But 2 years, 2 injuries. You're going to have to get some help. Dietrich Wise, a role player, we would say, was on the defensive line, starting, helping with the run defense, and still providing some veteran experience with the defensive line. He's out week 2. Then you have the young rookie, the young guy from last year, Javonte Jean-Baptiste, who a lot of people like on the team. Another year he's been injured. I mean, that room has got to get some guys. I mean, Jacob Martin, I think he's warranted to get another 1-year deal, in my opinion. Von Miller, I love
Let him go. Let him go.
I think he's definitely won't be coming back.
Let him go.
But that edge room is going to need some guys. It's going to need some guys because we got Preston Smith out there on edge defending toss plays, and that's not a recipe for success.
Terrible. They need a lot. Safety, linebacker, edge. However you feel about the D tackles is how you feel about the D tackles. I think they're competent. I think they're good enough for what we need. You add to the edge room. It can definitely help. Everybody.
I love the defensive tackles. Kinlaw was. I don't understand the Kinlaw slander that I've seen the past couple of days. Is weird because he does his job.
Slander?
Huh?
Slander?
Yeah, like people are trying to say he was a bad signing, but
back then I really felt like I was like, what the hell is he doing? Why? Just why? But as you see, boy can play. He's helped us a lot. I think Mark Bullock pulled up he had a 2-minute clip of all mostly Javon Kinlaw's.
Yeah, and that's what it was. Like people were talking about PFF grades, like he don't play good. I was like, well, they haven't played good in the past couple of weeks. The whole defense hasn't played good, but just to point him out specifically, I mean, you also got to think about it. The whole D line is basically injured.
Mm-hmm.
Your starters from week 1 is still Kinlaw and Daron Payne. Daron Payne literally missed a game last week because of the suspension. So that's at least 2 building blocks right there. You gotta get some guys on the outside to help them.
You have to. So too early to tell. What are your top 3 needs for this team?
Top 3 needs for this team. Bro, you could go any way, but honestly, I think, can I do it like this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do defense and offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
The number 1 need for offense will be wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
The number 2 need for offense will be, in my opinion, a running back. Number 3 will be tight end. I just think we need skill. We need skill position for Jaden.
That's in order.
In order.
Okay.
Because you need a wide receiver, and then you need a running back that can. We don't really have no. When Bill gets going, he has juice, but it's not consistent juice. Because sometimes he's pressing, and that's what makes Chris Rodriguez such a good player. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't have to be the flashiest, but he has consistent vision and he makes something out of nothing. He can make a 3-yard run turn it to an 8-yard run after contact. So that's why I'll say offense will be wide receiver, running back, and tight end. I think you can get a solid tight end at a good vet minimum that's athletic enough to grow with Jaden. And, you know, I see a lot of people talk about Kyle Pitts and stuff. That's someone that everybody is we'll see. But in terms of defense, I'm going to say see, it's funny though, because the one spot on defense is going to be in question, because what's more important? I'll ask you when I get to this point. So I'm gonna say number 1 is edge. Like, you gotta find an edge rusher. You gotta find an edge rusher to help the secondary. You gotta find an edge rusher that can set the edge and help with the defensive line. Number 2, I'm going to say. I still think it's. Here's the thing: if I say linebacker, we know I don't see Wagner coming back. You got McGee, but who's going to be the opposite guy? Is it going to be Luvu?
Free agent.
A free agent pickup. Okay, yeah. So, and then here's the spot that I'm stuck, because corner and safety, I feel like it no, it's like the secondary overall is bad. But what do I think is worse? I probably have to go and say safety.
Okay. I mean, I don't hate those answers.
Trail's been going off in the comments and stuff. Had to catch up. Kinlawn's favorite signing, yes. Let's see what Radar just said. Radar said edge, middle linebacker, corners defensively. Yeah, see, and that's Caleb. This is what I think, right? The corners, I can say, at least for the corners perspective, there have been weeks where, you know, you don't hear a guy's name. I'm not going to say his name. There's been weeks where you haven't heard a guy's name. And, of course, we know with Mikey, everybody's talking about, well, Mikey's in the slot. Let's see him outside. Do you want to put Mikey full-time outside necessarily? In my opinion, no. But then I'm also seeing him in the slot, and it's like he just doesn't look good. He doesn't have that hip to you know, like, do that, bro. But and then Amos is gonna be a guy he probably won't be back healthy until what, maybe mid to late training camp, a fibula.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind adding to the room. I mean, I don't mind adding anything.
I mean, you're gonna need a corner anyway, because you signed Jonathan Jones for a 1-year deal. Marshall Lattimore torn ACL. I don't see him coming back.
He's getting cut.
He probably said, yes, Mikey is an outside corner.
Defensively, edge, top 3. This is what I'll say. I'm going to give the top three needs of the team offensively and defensively that I feel
That
like
is nasty. That is, oh my god, I'm taking a picture of that, bro. That's a nasty. Oh my god, I'm saying, that is nasty, bro. I'm sending this to Aaron, bro. Yo, that is so nasty, bro.
But I
I'm
had to
putting Mikey in the slot. He's not a man corner. Mikey thrived in Michigan. He was in the Mike McDonald adjustment. Well, I mean, he's he's not wrong.
he's really not a man corner. He's really a Mikey's weird, bro. Like, but Mikey's the type of guy where you just gotta use him. You kind of gotta, to me, you gotta move him around. Like, I mean, I don't know. You can blitz Mikey, to be honest, and I don't think they blitzed him a lot so far in his career. That's nasty. I'm gonna give our. This is how I rank it, DT.
Okay, I'm listening.
Top three needs at positions I feel like will affect this team the most, and that will give them a boost. Excuse me, sorry. Edge for sure. Safety and linebacker. I think if you add a really good safety to this team, like a guy that has the quality of a Jesse Bates or a Derwin James or a Buda Baker or a what's another guy? Or an Xavier McKinney. Guys like that. If you get a guy like that and implement him into this defense, he's going to change the secondary, in my opinion.
Interesting.
And Jalen Thompson he's a solid safety. But Troy, I'm talking about guys more dynamic than him. I'm talking about like I'm not even gonna say Kyle Hamilton. DT, relax. I know that face.
No. I mean, you might as well. You know where
I
you know
know.
what we talked about.
Yeah, I know. I know that face. But I'm talking about guys. Hold on. Let me bring this up real quick. Um, just some names: Derwin James, Buda Baker, Xavier McKinney, Jesse Bates, Javon Holland, or a Hafunga, or a Kirby Joseph, an Antoine Winfield. You add a guy like, and I'm not even talking about Kyle Hamilton. Like he's arguably the best safety in the NFL. I'm talking about a guy like that. You insert a guy like that, it will help your corners. It will help your corners. Um, and depending on what type of safety he is, it can help around the line of scrimmage. Edge, of course, we know. I'm adding safety in there is whereas, yes, we can upgrade the corner room, but I'm also looking to I really honestly believe having a really good safety on this team will help these corners. It would raise the floor of these corners. It will raise the floor of Igbo, Amos, Mikey. I really believe it will change this team. Linebacker, of course. I mean, like I've always said before, finding a great linebacker is like finding a great quarterback. It's very very hard. It may be difficult than finding a quarterback, to be honest. It's very hard. It's very hard to find a great Mike linebacker, and once you do, they don't leave. They get paid. They get paid, and to get one, you got to draft well. You got to trade for one. That's what the Ravens did with Roquan Smith, and the Niners found a diamond in the rough with Fred Warner. They struck gold with him, no pun intended, because of the Niners, of course. But adding, and we discussed this earlier. You weren't in the space, DT, but I truly believe adding a Caleb Downs on this defense would give a facelift to this secondary. An instinctual player, you could put him. He can do. You can tell me, shoot, and I guess the more research I do, I'll find out for myself. I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
You can tell me too. He played at Bama.
I mean, yeah, but instinctual, can cover, blitz him. He can tackle.
Yeah.
So like you add a guy like that and put him in Quan's position, bro. Like our secondary has a lift. It has a huge facelift. Um, Impactful player. Even if you add a guy like Ruben Bain or you add a guy like Orvar Reese, you add a guy like it's that kid from Texas A&M. What's his name?
How?
Yeah, I think that's his name.
Say it's how.
Can say it's how.
He is a whew.
Guy like him.
He's a dude, man.
Offense. Wide receiver, tight end, running back. And I start with running back. I actually like the backs that we have. I'm cool with the running backs that we have. I truly believe it, and I've said this before, once we traded Bill, once we got Bill, it's also about the system that you're running with these running backs. Does the running back strength fit your strength of your running game? And I feel like we have a good complementary running back room. I want to add a guy who has speed. I need a Devon A-Chain type of player on this roster. A guy with pure speed. Once he sees the hole, he's out of there. Pure speed. We can use a speed back on this team. I feel like how I like my running back room. Yeah, short yardage back. You may have a guy that's like Bill. You can use him in a third down situations a little bit, a little shifty, a little elusive guy, or a McNichols like blitz protect. He's good in blitz pickups. But having a back that has insane or great speed is really, really, really valuable in my opinion. Tight end and the running back you can get in free agency to draft late round. You can find you a diamond in the rough somewhere. Running back's not hard to hit on. Tight end, a vertical threat, even a route runner, a guy that can stretch the field, a guy that can create mismatch problems, not only for linebackers but for safeties. It's been years since we've had that, and we know the last person who had that. We have two guys like that in the last 20 years with this team. There's some guys in the draft that are like that. And there's some guys in the free agency that have that ability too. And wide receiver, it's plain as day. You need guys. You need guys that. You want a guy that's a route runner. You want a guy that's shifty. And you want a guy that's your outside threat. But it also depends on what you're running offensively. But some players play above the scheme. So getting a future wide receiver one, a future outside X receiver, that can help us. That will help us. That help Jaden, because Terry has peaked. He's at the peak of his career. I think what he did last year was phenomenal. But the best days to me are kind of behind him, in my opinion. Not to say he's not a good player. He's still a good player. It's just that year of what? Let me see. 2020, 2021, 2022. Like those 3 years, or even 2023, you're not going like those years. Those are his prime years. There was 4 years were his prime years, and right now, I don't care what y'all say, and right now, you want to find his successor. And I'll say it again. Terry has peaked ladies and gentlemen. You can clip that. I don't care what you do. Record it, snip it. I don't care. He's peaked. Like I said, he's still a good player, but Terry is who he is at this point. So you let Debo walk, add a Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, David Bell, add a really good receiver. Keep Burks. Keep Treylon Burks. He's still young. Have Luke contribute a little bit here and there offensively.
Lane.
Then you can get a solid receiver, I guess, in the late rounds too, to develop him as well. Maybe a free agent. You still got a Jalen Lane.
Yeah.
That's your wide receiver room.
I think the only two transactions will be Noah Brown, you let him go, and the Chris Moore. And then you draft. I think you got to draft a receiver, and I'll bring Treylon Burks back because I think that's someone you can, he can grow. Now I do have this other question because I just asked, I asked AJ. He hasn't responded yet on Twitter, but it was a conversation. Debo, me personally, I love Debo. But I wouldn't bring him back for the sense of when he's dinged up, you can see the ineffectiveness. And he probably had his best game in almost 3 to 4 weeks on Sunday. But are you willing to pay Debo a 2 to 3 year deal with $30+ million?
Okay. No.
And tell me why.
He's not in the future plans, for one. And two, I'm not personally. Plus, Debo's not even the type of receiver that I like. It's not to say that he's not a good player and he's not valuable, but based on what I value in a receiver, he's not that type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, Jordan Tyson, a Carnell Tate, we're just behind the 8 ball in getting a young receiver, a young dynamic receiver that has the potential to be one of the best receivers and one of the most talented receivers in the NFL. We don't have that right now. We don't have that, and we need to address that. We did it in the past. Shoot, we had Santana Moss. How old was he when he came here? 25, 26?
Somewhere around that range.
We traded for him, but we traded for him right before the prime of his career, and he was a dog. When we got Pierre Garçon, of course, these guys that we didn't draft, but these are guys that were one of the best in what they specialized in. When did we get Pierre? How old was he? I'm just curious. We got him when he was 26 years old.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good right there.
Yeah, we got him when he was 26 years old. And then the second year he played for us, he led the NFL in targets and he led the NFL in receptions. 1,300 receiving yards. He had 5 touchdowns. But, we need our Garrett Wilson. We need our CeeDee Lamb. We need our Malik Neighbors. We need our Brian Thomas Jr. We need our Ladd McConkey. We need our Rashee Rice. We need our... You get it. Bro, take that out the... Bro, take that off the screen, bro. Talking about some damn Cam Sims. The hell out of here. We swung and missed on receivers in the draft too. Josh Doxson. But keep swinging, bro. We need to find our future.
Both Dotsons. Dotson and Doxson.
We need to find our future wide receiver 1. We need to find it. We just need to. You need to, man. No excuses. You gotta add weapons to this team. You have to. Hopefully, our front office feels the same way. But
Yeah, I agree with that. All right. We're about to go ahead and wrap it up in a few minutes, but so the other key piece will be, Jaden and the rest of the season. I think the latest report has been he still has not gotten medically clear, and there's a possibility it might be still a couple of weeks away. So I kind of
shut
expect him.
down,
So
bro.
I don't I don't see him. Ooh, that's a good question. Finding that future wide receiver one or finding that guy at edge.
Wide receiver. Wide receiver. Sorry, my bad, DJ. I had to pick something up. Wide receiver. And I say wide receiver because um as I said before, the history of this team, from what I've seen the last 20 years, we haven't been good on defense. We've been more of an offensively driven team the last 20 plus years. And even so then, offensively, we were very inconsistent. I think there was a time, I think 2019 to from 2019 to 2023, we were bottom 10 offensively. So that time frame, we were very bad offensively. We could barely average over 21 points, let alone 24 points. Just couldn't do it. Um, but we have years like 2015, 2016. I mean, we got years like 2017. We got years like 2012. We got years. But then we also have years like um, 2007 and 2004 where we're solid defensively, but especially 2004, 2005, we were great defensively. We were top 10 defensively, but offensively we were just we were okay, but we got the job done.
I mean, that's why I just want to get to. Can we get to a defense that could get the
Yeah,
job done? I can take a defense that can give me a couple stops. That could be top 13 to 15 in turnovers and get some sack. Like we
I
can't
don't
even
need
get.
it. Yeah, we can't even be league average, but I mean the strength going into the season was our offense. That's what it needs to continue to be. Jaden is the future of the franchise. You build around him. Build around him. And on the other side, just give me people that just do their jobs. That's all I'm asking for. And I'm saying wide receiver because of how I like to build my team. How I would build my team as a GM. And I'm not even gonna people think I'm talking about Madden and shit like that. No, bro, but like it's not even that. It's just the fact that I want to create a team where you cannot stop us offensively. It's going to take you a lot to stop us. I have weapons. I have a tight end. I have a receiver. I have a solid running back room. So when I want to run it, they're competent guys enough that they can get the job done. I have a plethora of receivers that can do something in the open space and they can get open. Oh, and keep in mind, I have a pretty good offensive line, a top half of the league offensive line that can get the job done. Oh yeah, and I got a quarterback that can scramble when he wants to, and when he's fully healthy, he's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, and he can throw accurately. And on defense, like I said, bro, just be solid, bro. Just be 15th, 16th, like 14th, 13th. I'm not even asking you to be top 10. I'm not. Just
I
don't be
just I
just don't
just
be
seen.
bottom don't be bottom 7 or bottom 6 or bottom 5. Like your scoring defense has to be good. And right now, like I'm up until the last game, the last 4 weeks, the last month, they have been bad. Like unplayable bad. But I want an offense that nobody can stop. That's how I want this team to be built. That's what I would do if I'm AP. I'm adding weapons for my quarterback. I already got the offensive line. It's solved. Give me some weapons, and we'll go from there. We'll get some guys in free agency, put them in the system. I give me a veteran defensive coordinator that has called plays before, like a Matt Patricia. Shoot, get a Brian Flores in here. We cooking with gas, baby. Like seriously, get a vet that knows how to call defense, that knows what to do defensively on certain down and distances. He understands tendencies with teams, and I got weapons, man. So that's what I need. That's what I do. Me, but you know.
Hey, bro. I just seen NFL on Fox Graphic where they had the defensive tiers. They had us at get right game.
Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised, but I'm very tickled that somebody actually put that up there. That is absolutely trolling. But yeah, man. So where I stand is like, I know some people are not gonna like it, but Jaden's not gonna sit, bro. And like, here's the other thing where we at. Like, Jaden has, in my opinion, Jaden has to play because he has to see what he's going to be seeing in the NFL. We got to see how he's going to have answers against that, because it's going to be a possibility of him having a new OC, new skill position outside of probably Terry in the running back room, whoever they bring back. Like, and I'm not saying this because I'm a fan and like I'm getting bored, but I want to see Jaden play the rest of the year with, we're just trying to see what are some things that he can, work on, and we can get into the off season like, okay, these are some things he can work on while we still try to build this team around him. And we kind of know where he's at. Like, he's the type of dude, like, when he's ready to play, he's ready to play. I just don't see Dan Quinn sitting a healthy Jaden if he's healthy. Like, if he's clear. I just don't see it.
I mean, even if he plays, I feel like we're still going to lose some games anyway. I mean, I feel like
we might win one game.
We could win two, but I mean, who knows?
If we win two games, that's going to be like, oh, because we had Jada.
You already know how I feel. It don't even matter to me what they do. I mean, I want, these players to be healthy, but I mean, they're just let Jaden play, man. Let him play. It is what it is. It don't matter to me, no more. I mean, I didn't want him to play at first because I want to protect my draft pick. I wanted to be higher, and two, I just felt like it was meaningless. I know people talk about, oh, Burrow is going to play, but yeah, I mean, Burrow got a bad defense. He's also a competitor. He also got two, arguably, well, he has the best, if not the best receiver in the NFL. And he also got T. Higgins, who's arguably a one. So, do you want Jaden to play without a Terry and a slow Zach Ertz and a inconsistent running game and a Chris Moore and you don't have Luke for the whole year? He's gone. Or Jalen Lane.
I mean, he was playing with mismatched dudes anyway. What's going to be the difference now? Really. I mean, it ain't like we ain't seen a bunch of number one picks, number two picks, number three picks play with random dudes when the season is going around. Like, it's the NFL. Like, the situation is not going to be perfect, and who's to say like we can address all this stuff next year, and then we wind up in the same situation, injuries and stuff like that. And he's going to have to play. He's going to have to play with the guys, and we literally see him win a game at least when he didn't have none of his guys. Now, the past couple games he had it, but he at least has gotten us outside of one game close enough to win a game. and that was the Bears game.
I wish you would have won that game.
Yeah, we should have won that game, but I mean, we're here now, so I mean, that's kind of it. What we got for tonight, man. We had the bye week. I'm probably gonna take a break from watching football, NFL football this week. I'll watch some college, and then we'll swing back around. And no, next week is Thanksgiving, so we're gonna be off next week. Just forgot about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Holidays. Enjoy your time with families. You ain't got
perfect for the bye. Shoot.
Yeah, and next week we will be playing
playing
Denver Broncos. So that game is not going to be flexed to 1:00. It's going to be staying at the 8:00 hour. So
Monday.
Yeah, it's still going to be a Sunday night game.
They're not playing. They're gonna lose, but
yeah.
You know what? I wouldn't be so. You know what? Hot take for that game before we leave. I think it could be low scoring. I think it could be a low scoring game, like a 24-14.
I want to be shocked about that. The Denver offense been kind of up and down, but like I just read,
their defense is just so damn good. So it's gonna be hard. And if we score on them, it'll probably be like once in the first 3 quarters, and then garbage time. In my opinion, too bad our offense isn't healthy. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, man. So, just to let you guys know, we will not be live next week. It is going to be a holiday week for us. So, spend your time with your families. Make sure you guys are driving safe to wherever you get into, wherever you head to your grandma's house, your aunt's house, or, wherever you're going to be spending time this holiday season. Make sure you guys are driving safe and get to your destinations. Definitely going to need it. I know I definitely going to need this break. But that's all we got for y'all. We will be coming back right after Thanksgiving break, and we will recap the Denver Broncos game and preview the next game afterwards. But it's your boy DT. We got your boy Caleb in the building. That's all we got for you for the Ins and Out League podcast live on Facebook, YouTube, and on X. We will see you guys after the first half of the holiday season. We all know the second half. That's everybody's Christmas. But we will see you guys right after Thanksgiving break. Y'all have a safe night.